Hey y'all, hey y'all. I'm running a few minutes behind. I apologize. I got a 1-year-old here with me, and he decided he was going to have him a little dirty diaper. So, sorry it took me so long. I had to get in there and get everything cleaned up, get my hands washed, and get ready for you guys. I'm going to wait till about 15 people come on board. I got all kinds of stuff for us to talk about today. You're going to see me leaning over here for a minute. I'm trying to get my computer up. Excuse me, sir. Come on out from under there. Get your cards, okay? Go get your cards. I got my 1-year-old here. Can you see him? Look, Lucas. Say hey. Say hey. But we got him locked in the craft room, so hopefully everything will go fine. I hope everybody's doing good today. It is, let's think about what day it is. It's Thursday. I got two at school. Got one here, so hopefully this will go well. We're going to do several things today. I got 40 people on board. If somebody would please send me a comment, let me know that my comments are working so I can be answering some questions today. Let's see what we got. I got Miss Nancy Devine. I see her on here. I got 62 people, so I know there's more people than that. Just somebody send me a message and just say, hey, good morning or something. There we go. I thank you for that. I got a message there. Let's see. I got Miss Ashley. Hey, hey, Courtney, Barbara. Good morning, good morning. Y'all, it's Thursday. We're almost at the weekend, but I got great news for you. So I'm going to go ahead and tell the 87, 88 people now what we're going to be doing and what's going to be changing about the lives. I'm working on the tabs on the group page to make it a little easier to meander through as far as preferred vendors, measurements, decal sizes, just anything that people have sent me messages about. If you have a great idea, hey Tina, hey Tracy, Sabrina, Sue Ellen, Christy, y'all welcome. Tammy, if y'all have any great ideas of something that you would like to have on the tabs mentioned, or have a tab that's specifically for that, what you doing? You can have it. You can have it. I want y'all to send me a message if you would please, okay? I just need to know different ideas of things that you may be needing that you can't find on the page. Of course, we're still going to answer all questions. We're not going to deny any questions. If you have a question, you ask it. I don't care if it's been asked 62 times, okay? Y'all just ask me the question. So I've been working on tabs. You'll start to see those look a lot better here in the next week or so. It's kind of a long process, but we're going to be working on it. As far as tutorials, very possible for you that watch me a good bit. Just, you know, hey, Shauna, Cynthia, Tanya, I'm so glad y'all are here. Miss Bella, who lives with me, is going to be going back home to stay with her mom and dad. It's probably going to happen in the next 2 weeks. There's a little transition period because she's going from one county to another with school. We did take her out of virtual school and put her back in real school. Virtual school, whoo, if you are doing it, you're an amazing woman or a man. If you're a man on here, I give y'all credit too. Hey, Miss Jen Jen. So, we're going to start doing lives every other day. And I'm going to be covering basics today. Uh-oh, you want a cookie? Okay. We're going to be doing basics today. We have a lot of new members, guys. I've had tons and tons and tons of questions by these new members. And I want to make sure that they understand how to truly get started. I've seen some cups and some things going on. We don't do drama in our group, but I just want to make sure that they understand the process of how these tumblers work, or even if they're considering starting to make cups. We have to be supportive, y'all. We're all family. We're all friends here, okay? Shauna, hey. Yeah, it's really, really, really hard that she's going to be going home. Hey, Rose. I'm glad you're doing okay. You're here. It's really hard for her to go home, but at the same time, it's kind of for the best for her to be around her siblings. Her sisters are having a very hard time. She has 3 younger sisters. So I think it's going to be good for her. She's been with us about 7, almost 8 months. So it's just kind of time. You know, it's hard. But I've got 15 other grandchildren, and I keep 2 of them every day. So there you go. I have not got to see my twin grandbabies in a long time, but it's time for me to go see them. Anyway, side from the point. Every other day, we're going to be doing a tutorial. So this week, we're going to do one today, which is Thursday. And then we're going to do one tomorrow, which is not every other day. But I have somewhere to go Saturday, and it's like an 8-hour trip, round trip. So I'm not going to do one Saturday. And I'll do one Sunday. But then starting Monday of next week, I'm going to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I already have in mind what I'm going to do up till Monday. So if you have any great ideas, shoot them out in this live. You can shoot them out as a private message to me. You tell me kind of what you're needing to see, but I already have the tutorials lined up through Sunday, okay? And we'll talk about what we're going to be doing. Today we're going to cover like a plethora of ideas, things that people have asked me to do, and it's more geared towards the newbies, but we are going to be doing an opal chunky cup, chunky glitter. So if you have problems with your chunky glitter, or just want to see, this is not going to be a straightforward chunky glitter. I'm going to use like 5 different glitters. Okay, I got a bunch of different opals that I'm going to use today, just to kind of give you an idea of what we're doing later. I got 145 people at lunchtime, y'all. I am so excited. You know my thing. Woo, woo. Ooh, look. Scary. Anyway, we're going to get going, okay? So here we go. I'm going to do question and answers first as we're talking about cleaning the rim of a cup, okay? Y'all, I've got a hot mess on my makeup side. I bet it's not hot here, but it's humid, and I got the air set to 60 in here. So I'm hoping I won't sweat on y'all. All right, so somebody's saying they'd like to do a plaid cup. I see that. Hey, Alana and Rose. Let's see. Jarissa, Courtney. My first cup ever is tomorrow with chunky glitter. Well, you are perfect timing, Miss Courtney. You're going to get to see some little tricks to the trade. Y'all, I want you to know, if you're new here, I do not claim to be perfect. I've been doing this a couple years. I love all types of cups. The only ones that really drive me absolute crazy are the storyboards, because you might get lucky and it'll seal, and sometimes you don't get lucky and it don't seal. So my storyboards, I do a lot of those. Sir, you can't play on the computer. Just eat your cookies. There you go. I do all types of tumblers. Like I said, I've been doing this a while, but I have a box of cups I'm stripping in the back. I wish I could let you see them. I actually got 6 in there. If I don't like a cup that I'm making for a customer, or if I send the picture to a customer and they don't like it, I will strip it and start over. It's just me, okay? Somebody likes my eyeglasses. All right. So I just want to kind of share some stuff with you. So let me get my stuff together and figure out what I did with a cup. Excuse me. Thank you. All right. So I have got one that I'm getting ready to stick in the strip bin. But we're going to talk about how to clean the rim. So y'all don't judge this cup. Y'all, I'm not a great person with gold foil. I have a trimmer. My hands shake real bad, which is great for shaking glitter, but it's not good for tedious work. So I did this. I'm going to be stripping this cup. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like the top and the bottom. I don't like the way that turned out, because I was going to put Faith in here, but it's very off color to the rest of the cup. So I don't like it. It's going to get stripped. Okay. Let's see. Storyboards, or somebody saying Melissa. Hey, Melissa. Welcome, y'all. I'm so glad you're here. I appreciate y'all joining me. So all we're going to do with this cup is we're going to clean the inside of your cup. Anybody ever had cups that look like this? And I left it just like it was. Okay? And then the rim, of course, has got epoxy. It's got all kinds of dirty stuff. There's a big epoxy bubble. We're just going to show you different ways that you can clean the rim of your cup. Now, my way's not perfect. Okay? It works for me and it works great. But there may be other ways that people can chime in and tell you that they clean cups. It does not bother me at all if you want to give somebody advice, or if somebody has a question and I miss it, if you want to answer it. If you're curious and you don't get the answer you're looking for, y'all, I answer all my PMs. I try to do it within the hour. You have to understand, I get it a lot, but I will answer any questions you have. You just got to shoot me one through a private message, okay? All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with cleaning the rim of this cup. Let me get my little pieces together. Move some stuff around. What I use for this is an X-Acto knife. Okay, this is just a Cricut X-Acto knife. You can see I broke the tip before. This is just for cleaning rims. I don't use this one for anything else other than my rims. Okay, I've got several over here. I've got one that I designate for my vinyl. You see it's my purple one. And then I've got just regular old X-Acto knives you buy at the hardware store that I use for all kinds of stuff. So it doesn't matter what type you have, okay? I just know this is my one I use to clean with. They are sharp, so you have to be kind of careful. I have cut myself in the past, okay? Somebody's asking what storyboards are. Let me see if I got one close by. Look out, baby doll. So this is a storyboard, okay? It's where you get the leaves that shake in it. This one's not complete because I haven't finished the top and the bottom. I usually decorate mine with glitter to cover up. This one, I actually tried something new. I bought some O-rings, and I don't know if I have them handy, but I bought big O-rings, and I don't have them handy to show you, but I put them inside the seal, and I had one little leak, so I put a little bit of silicone in it. But a storyboard is this. You can cover it up and do a peekaboo with the storyboards. You can do anything you want. You can leave it like that and not do the top and the bottom, but you got to be really good about sealing it. So that's a storyboard. Let's see. My daughter has tremors too with epilepsy, and she's the same way. And I'm OCD too. I'm OCD. You wouldn't tell it by this craft room today. All right, guys, so let's get going. So we got our X-Acto knife. We got our cup. We know it's a hot mess, okay? Typically what I do, and you don't have to do it, okay? I use a heat gun and I heat my tip up a little bit. You don't want it scorching hot because it's going to slide through this epoxy like crazy, but I heat it up a little bit. And y'all, I've got sinuses. I'm going to tell you, this weather is crazy. It's like 60 degrees here today. It's beautiful. I am in South Carolina, kind of between the mountains and the lakes down here. I'm in a place called Slabtown, which is really a Liberty, South Carolina address. I used to be from Pickens, but we're real close to the mountains. So it's pretty today, but yesterday it was 90. So go figure, right? Let's see. I heard some people put Dawn dish soap and warm water in a cup in the rim and let it sit for a while, and then it just gets wipes out. Probably so, I would imagine. I used to coat the inside of my cups with Vaseline, and it helped a lot. But then I had to clean up the grease with Dawn dish soap, and you're going to wash it anyway. But now I've just kind of started doing it this way, okay? I've really been doing it this way for a while. But I've got this kind of warm. It's not hot because you can still touch it. And what I typically do, let me tell you about the water though. You got me curious. So I'm going to tell you this. You've got a brand new cup that has one layer of epoxy on it. You basically have sealed something because let me back up. You want to be able to, excuse me, sir, I need you to go this way. Thank you. You can't be over here playing, okay? You want to clean the rim of your cup prior to your final coat of epoxy. So I'm going to make sure everybody understands what I said. Clean the rim of your cup before you put your final coat of epoxy on it, okay? The reason being, 2 reasons. One, when you clean your cup, oh, I know what you're doing now. You're playing in my water slide water. You got to quit that. I'm talking to some people. Okay? Say yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Okay. Yes, sir. Good job. You want to be able to seal where you're cutting off. So I'm going to give you an example. I don't know if you can get really, really close, but this cup's a hot mess. You see everything? Okay? So I'm going to kind of come in. I go at an angle, guys. I don't know if you can see where I'm at, because I like to come to where the lid is going to seat properly. Now remember, this cup's going to be stripped. So I'm coming around and bringing this up like this. So when I clean this spot, I've exposed this open part to water. See right there? So now water can get up under there. So you want to clean it before you do your final coat. So when you do your final coat, you can bring it over. If you get little dots of epoxy at the top, you can go back when you're done and flick them out like that, okay? We're going to clean the whole cup before you do your final coat of epoxy so that you can seal it back. So when you give it to your customer, you don't get water inside of it, okay? If you're cleaning your rim after you've done your final coat, you're running the risk of water getting in there when they wash the cup, and they're going to call you back in about a month and say it's starting to peel apart. I've had it happen. I promise you I don't tell you stories that I haven't experienced personally. So it will happen. So I started cleaning my rim and then sealing it back on my final coat, okay? So as I was saying, when you clean your rim, you're just going to come around, and this stuff, I don't have a whole lot to clean on this one because of the way it mounded, but you can see like little rolls of stuff coming off, especially where the epoxy got a little too far. But I like to do it at an angle again, so when I put the rim, or excuse me, the lid of the cup, it seats properly. If you do it like this, it's very possible you're still going to have a high lip where the lid won't sit, okay? After I do all the way around the edge, I kind of come back, and I know you can see this coming off. This is where a lot of the paint and stuff comes off. I just spin it around as I'm going, okay? You're trying so hard to get over here in this corner. I need you to come back this way, please. Come on out of the corner. I don't know how you were managing to do that. I apologize, guys. I got a 1-year-old, but I got to keep him out of this little corner because this is my corner where all my stuff is that I don't want him pilfering in. You know what I'm saying. If you got grandkids or kids, you know exactly what I'm saying. I hope you'll be patient with me. So we've got that. Now look, I've got a ton of epoxy, super, super thin right here, and some paint. So I just go in before I use my acetone, and I just kind of scrape to see if any of that's going to come up as a big glob. And really and truly, that's all going to be paint, but this one little piece. I'm trying to do it where you can see. Now somebody's going to say, doesn't it scratch your cup? You're going to have some brush marks in it, But y'all, I promise you it's going to be much better. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Miss Jennifer. How are you? Landon's not here, Tammy. I've got Lucas today. Landon has actually started K3. And Bella is at school now. She's not doing virtual school. And Braxton is probably at home doing homeschooling. So I just have Lucas this morning. But thank you. I'll tell him you said hey, okay? Question, when you finish your cup, do you go over it at all? Like on the top to the rim, or do you leave the epoxy on top? No, ma'am. I always make sure my cup is delivered where it is clean. So after you do your final coat, I'm answering a question for Shauna. After you clean, or after you do the final coat, the only place you're really going to have epoxy is going to be up here, maybe a couple drops at the very top, because you've rounded that out. You're kind of going over it like this when you're applying that epoxy. And then, of course, we're going to clean the inside with acetone. That's what I use, okay? Somebody's going to battle me and say, please don't use acetone. It's going to do this, that, or the other. But like I said, I've been doing this a while, guys. I haven't had any problems. My hair's a hot mess. So I'm going to show you that real quick. I'm going to put on one glove because I want somebody to see. And I'm going to show you the cup again before I do the acetone, okay? And I do need to do one thing because I see a mess with this gold flake that I did not get off. And I don't want to show you the rim of this cup with it still looking yucky. So it won't take me about a second. I'm just going back over where some of this gold flake was stuck, which comes off super easy. Now remember, I'm going to put another coat of epoxy on this. Excuse me. Back out. Thank you. All right, I got me some paper towels. Now, I got the baby behind me. Typically, I don't do any acetone work in the house, but it's pretty difficult for me by myself to videotape myself and do these tutorials for y'all without doing them in here in the room, so I have nobody to help me with the camera. So I'm going to be honest with you, I do not have my mask handy. Acetone is the only thing that bothers me, and I have 1.5 lungs, okay? So I had an injury, and I wound up with 1.5 lungs. Usually I wear a mask when I use acetone, and none of the kids, I go outside to do it, because if you do it in the house, of course, the fumes are pretty rough. But the baby is behind me. Still not good. But I want to show y'all this. This is so important. I've had so many people ask me this question, okay? We just finished Zoom on 2 of mine, so I'm glad we're done today. I hear you, Lauren. We didn't like homeschooling very much. I felt like I was back in school. It was pretty rough. All right, he's playing with some rocks, so we're good. So this is what it looks like before. Let me give you a good rundown. Okay? I've just put some acetone on a paper towel. That's where I had some tape. That's why that didn't get too much of a mess when I taped off the front. So I'm just going to go inside. Some of the skinnies are a little harder for me to get my big old hands on, but we're going to get in here. So somebody else is saying they use acetone too. I'm totally new. How do you get the epoxy to seal without getting it all over your final epoxy? I'm going to show you that when we do some epoxy on this cup, okay? You have a tutorial for the storyboard. I think I did do a tutorial for the storyboard. Just so you know, if you're new, you can go up into the top left corner on these and click on the 3 buttons to get notifications for all lives. It'll tell you when there's one going on, okay? And if you want to search for any of my tutorials, you can find them in 2 places. Go to the search bar on the page and type in Bridget Hicks Reese, and it'll bring up all my tutorials or any comments I've made on different things. Or you can go to the 3, there's a bunch of blocks. We call them the tabs, and we're working on the tabs right now to get them more useful, I guess is what I'm saying. Right now there's some information on there that's very useful, but we're going to get them a little more organized, things that may help you as you go along, okay? But there's a tab for Bridget Hicks Reese tutorials there. I used acetone and an X-Acto knife. All right, so see, some people are doing the same thing I'm doing already, but some people really had no idea. I do want to tell you something. And in the beginning, I'm going to be honest, y'all. I was new. I really didn't know what I was doing. I had nobody to talk to. Nobody teaching me except YouTube tutorials. And I still watch those every day. I mean, I watch them just because I like to see different ways and new things. And y'all, I use different epoxies. I haven't picked a preference. I have certain ones that I like to use for certain things. But I've got every brand of epoxy. Oh my goodness. You're being so loud. Thank you. Got different brands of epoxy for everything. But all I'm doing is going through this cup and rubbing it really, really good. Rubbing any spots that I see still. And then I wipe the rim. Now realize I'm not going over top. I'm just putting my nail right on the rim and I'm going all the way around. Okay, that cleans any paint or residue you may have just on the tip of the cup, because we're still going to do a final coat of epoxy. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what we got. So this is, well, I hadn't reached down in there. If you've got a deep cup, you can use a brush. And this is just gold foil that I haven't sealed yet. But I'm not keeping this cup, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to be stripping this cup. But so everything's out except a little bit of something right there. Let me wipe that out real quick. So it's that simple, guys. Please, please, please remember your name is behind your work. Okay? It does look like somebody is watching me from outside, but look. Let me see. That's the back of my head. I got a mirror back there. It was my mother's mirror, so I put it up in here. And, sorry, hold on just a second, baby. No, sir, you can't play over there. Okay? No, sir. No, sir. You know better. Thank you. You play, get your toys. Go get your rocks. I wish you could see the floor of my craft room right now. It's amazing. He's gotten a hold of some rocks, craft rocks that I was making something with. You stay right here with BB, okay? All right, guys, we're back. What was I talking about? Somebody was asking about something. Let me go back and see if I can figure it out. Yeah, you were talking about somebody behind me. That's just a mirror, though. But it does look like somebody's sitting outside and staring at me. And somebody mentioned that on a live one night, and it was kind of dark outside, but I still had my windows open. It scared me to death myself. So, anyway, but yes. Let's see what else. After I glitter my cup and I seal it, I then add epoxy, and the next day you can feel some of the glitter in my decal wrinkle up where the glitter is. We're going to talk about that too, okay? That goes out to Miss Tammy. Because, believe me, Tammy, you are not the only one with that question, okay? Why are you stripping it? I think it's beautiful. I'm telling you, I'm just funny. I'm just funny about some cups. And this one, I wanted to put faith on it in one of these darker colors, like a copper color. And just the more I looked at it, the more it drove me crazy. So, I'm just weird like that. So, I'm going to set this to the side. That's how you clean a rim. What I was telling you, I remember. Please, guys, even if you're new at this, if you're at the point where you feel like, I had to peek on him, you're ready to start selling tumblers, please, 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 don't send a tumbler out to a customer with a dirty rim or a dirty inside. Now, some of you are going, well, that's stupid. I'd never do that anyway. You would be very, very, very surprised. Okay? Now, it doesn't mean I'm disappointed in anybody if it's happened. Doesn't mean any of that, because you just have to think about it. If they get that, they're going to say, Bridget Reese sent me a cup and the inside was filthy. It still had epoxy all over it and paint inside. Like, isn't that a... Let me tell you, epoxy is toxic if it's not cured. Okay? And that's another comment I want to make. If you're sending out cups to a customer, remember your name's behind it. Okay? And if it's not cured for 3 days before you put it in the mail, and they get it and they use it within the 3-day period, one, it's still soft, okay, so it may get damaged in the mail, and two, it's toxic until it's cured. So just keep that in mind. Don't make a cup this morning with fast set, get it all ready, ship it in the afternoon. You're going to have the cup come back to you, okay? Why are you stripping it? I got that one, okay. My 1-year-old heard your grandbaby crying, so ran over me and started grieving. Oh, my goodness. Miss Loretta, I'll send you a message if you want this cup. All right, guys, so let's see what else I said we were going to talk about. What else did we say we were going to talk about? We're going to do an opal cup. I do have question and answers. I'm trying to watch any of them. If I have missed your question, please know that I am going to start back the way I was before, going back through the tutorial lives and answering all your questions. I can't like everybody's comment. Let me explain that. If I like your comment and I don't like the next person's comment, it wasn't personal. But if I like everybody's comment, Facebook shuts me down for about 24 hours. Okay? So just keep that in mind. I just don't want you to think I wasn't looking, or I can answer any questions at all. I just can't like everything because they'll shut me down. I can't talk to y'all for 24 hours. Let's do this. What happened to your arm? My goodness. What happened? I know what happened. Wait just a second, guys. We have there is no telling how he did that, but I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. You're good. Okay. All better. All right. he had a little bit of blood on his arm, which is very crazy because he's locked in here in the craft room with me. So I know he can't get out. But there's no telling what he got into back there. If y'all could see this floor, I'm telling you. All right, we're going to talk about water slides. I told people I would do some water slides with you. So if you use a Cricut, I use Cricut Design. I have a Cricut Maker. Some of the programming should all be the same through Cricut Design Space. Okay, it's been a while since I've seen one of your tutorials. So glad I can catch you on here. Hey, Miss Cassandra. Somebody else is saying that they ship theirs 4 days after they're done and cleaning the rims. Yes, ma'am. Just remember, clean the rims and then do your final coat of epoxy so water can't get down in there after you ship it and the customer's washing it. You know what I'm saying? And it'll start to lift it. You've got to seal it with some epoxy, okay? So let's just talk about this. I don't really need this up. I was actually going to do one as we're going because I wanted to show you the difference in things. So there may not be many people who need to know about water slides, and then we're going to start the cup, okay? It's been a while. I'm just making sure I'm not missing any. I'm going to swipe real quick. Give me a second. And I'm sorry the phone is jumping, but did you ever get to finish the cup? The bubbly brew. I never got notified. Yes, ma'am, I did, Gladys. It should be a tutorial on the last one, and it's in the other room. I may try and get it right before this is over, but I don't want to get up and leave everybody hanging for a second. But we did do a Halloween love potion cup. You can do a witch's brew, snake oil, whatever you'd like. What are you doing? But we did finish it, and it turned out really, really good. Matter of fact, it's going to be going in the mail here sometime today. I've learned to make my own water slides. Awesome, Brittany. That's what I'm going to talk to you about now. So let's do this. Okay, come on back around here. I'm going to be on the computer to the side of me. I'm actually going to pull it up here, but without blocking y'all's view. Okay. I want to talk to you about these water slides on Cricut Design Space. I'm going to give y'all a couple little tricks that I've learned over time. We're going to have some people who are going to get mad at me because I do certain things that maybe they don't do or they feel like is wrong. But I'm just going to go over some things, okay? Now, if you have Cricut Design Space. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
I want you to go sit down. Go sit down. Play with your cars. Thank you. Thank you. You ruined that one. Thank you. Sit. Go get your toys. Okay. I'm back. I apologize. You know how it is when you got kids, okay? So we're on Cricut Design Space. I have a Cricut Maker. Maybe a little bit different from something that you have. But we're going to talk about that, okay? So my computer's coming up. I'm working on my phone for video, okay? Now, we'll talk about images while this is opening up. Somebody says, where do you get your SVGs or your PNGs? Let me tell you the difference in the two. I don't know the legal terms because I used to have it on a little cheat note up in here so I could tell you what they really mean, but you can Google SVG and it'll tell you. But it's basically, SVGs are usually a black and white image that you can pull in to Cricut Design Space to cut vinyl. Some people do water slides with SVGs, and that's fine if you just want a black image or a white image, okay, on your water slide. PNGs are typically, and I don't know the true word for it, you have to Google it. I used to have that little cheat note, but I got rid of it over time. PNGs are going to be your color images. Now, somebody's going to rebuttal me on this, but I'm just going to tell you, I make a lot of cups for relatives, and I give away a lot of cups, so I'm not making money on cups. So let's say I'm making one for my sister, and she wants, I'm trying to think of something I've got on my computer already. Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, okay? It's almost Halloween. A lot of y'all may be doing that. If you go to Google Images, and you type in Nightmare Before Christmas PNG, it's going to bring up 1,001 images for you. And you can click on those and download them. Now, somebody's going to say, you have to go back and research and figure out where they're coming from. Yes, you're right if you're selling the cup. Because there are trademark issues. I know y'all know that. There's copyright issues. You have to be really careful when you're selling cups that are copyrighted or trademarked. Because somebody eventually is going to catch up. And you can get in trouble for that. Now, typically, if you're making one for a friend, If you do sell it, that's on you. I'm not going to say I have or have not in the past, but I do a lot of craft fairs, and I do not take those type of cups to craft fairs, okay? So just keep in mind, you usually have to backtrack the image to find out where the image comes from. But if you're making it for a friend, it doesn't matter. It's personal use, okay? And somebody's going to get me. I'm waiting on it, okay? Vector file and SVG. Okay, so Loretta's got the terms. She's got it much better than I do, because I didn't know all the true terms by heart. But SVG is going to be black and white, and your PNG is going to be your color images, typically. Hold on, I got cotton mouth. The baby spilt my cup of drink all over the floor. So that's why I'm drinking without a lid. So, if I go... I should have put the ice in my mouth. Alright. I'll give most of mine to Make-A-Wish. That is very sweet, Loretta. So if you go to Google Images and you find you an image, and I can't really show you, I don't want to turn the computer around because it's going to be super blurry for you. You download that image, and if you're working on your phone, you can do it with the Cricut Design app. I usually go and find all my images that I want for the day on my phone. I email them to myself. I go to my laptop and open my email and save the images to my computer. And I work with Cricut Design Space on my computer because there's more you can do really than you can on the app on your phone. Okay? So what I'm doing now is opening the Cricut app. So you've downloaded the image to your computer. Then you're going to go into your Cricut Design Space. And I can pretty much talk you through it, but I want to make sure you understand. It's important to people to understand the copyright because they can get them put on Facebook a lot and shouldn't. You're right. There shouldn't be any posts coming to our page that are copyright or trademarked. We usually have to approve them, but the other day I got on and I had 147 posts to approve. And when we have that many, sometimes one or two might get through. But if you're trying to submit a Disney cup to share with us, I'm sure it is beautiful, but we can't share that. It'll shut our page down. Okay? So we just have to be really careful. So please know it's not anything personal. It's just if it's something that is copyrighted or trademarked, we have to be real careful sharing it. Okay? So, get back to where we were. You have downloaded your image. You're going to bring it into Design Space. And the way you do that is down at the far right side on my computer, the way it's set up on Cricut Design Maker. It's going to be on the left-hand side. It's going to say Upload. And I want to upload. It's giving me an alert that they're doing maintenance. Anybody else have that problem with Cricut? They're doing maintenance all the time. You can't get on when you need to. Because I do a lot of work at night when everybody's in bed. But you're going to upload your picture. And when you hit upload, it's going to take you to all your pictures. You're going to pick that picture. Let's see if I can get into here real quick. You're going to pick that picture and you're going to bring it into Design Space. And I'm trying to do that right now so I can make sure I'm giving you the appropriate information, okay? Hold on 2 seconds. Computer's being a little slow. I've got the child on the floor painting my Mountain Dew all over I have that plastic stuff laid down in my room so it doesn't ruin my carpet. So he's painting my Mountain Dew all over the floor. It's awesome. But y'all are still with me and I appreciate that. So anyway, bring your image into Design Space. This is wanting me to install a plug and play. It's been doing this for a year and I'm not going to. Once you bring it in, it's going to drop it into your Design Space. And when it drops it into your Design Space, that's when you can make it the size you want. Okay? When you make it the size you want, I'm just not going to use this. I'm just going to tell you what I remember. Make the size you want. There's going to be tabs at the top. If you have done these, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you have not, I'm going to tell you what to do. There's going to be a block that says no fill or print. If you want to work with vinyl, you're going to hit no fill. If you want to cut it from vinyl, hit no fill. If you want to print it just as it is, whether it's a color or black and white, sit down. Zip it. Zip it. Thank you. All right. If you want to print it the way it is, you put print, okay? If you are doing the no-fill, you can pick your color. Now, a lot of people are like, why pick a color? I usually drop 3 or 4 cups into my design space at a time. And when I say that, I mean I'm doing all the vinyl work and all the print work at one time for 3 or 4 cups. So let's say for this cup I'm spinning here, I want to do pink vinyl. I would put no-fill, pick the color pink, pick the one that I'm making pink, and then this cup I'm going to do black vinyl with words. So no-fill, black with the words in it. Then I'm going to print an image for this cup over here. I want it printed just like Jack and Sally in color because it's going to be on printable vinyl. And then for this one back here, I want to do water slide. So it would be printable vinyl, and then I would do it on water slide paper. If that makes sense, you can do a lot at one time. That'll help you kind of speed up your process, okay? Where's the best place to purchase them? And are they easy to work with? Absolutely. If I make my own tattoos. I used to buy them off of Amazon. I used to buy water slides off of Etsy, but I make everything myself now. Let me show you some paper. Hold on, you gotta hold me. So this is the water slide paper. It's Haze. I get it off of Amazon. You used to be able to get it at Hobby Lobby, but you can't anymore. The thing about this is make sure that you're buying for the right printer. I have an inkjet printer, so that's what I have here. And this is my clear. So this is clear. They make water slide paper. You got to realize I'm balancing a child too. They make water slide paper right here. Now this is the water slide paper I use for white. Let me make sure that's what I got. Thank you. So this is the water slide paper in white. Okay. Comes about 20 sheets. I get this off of Amazon also. And the brand of this I will put on the top of this tutorial, okay? Then you can also buy tattoo paper off of Amazon, so you don't have to buy tattoos. So let's say you find the coolest image ever of a skull and a Dawn of the Dead lady or something. I'm just trying to think of something that you've never seen before on tattoo paper. You can make your own, guys. And that's kind of a game changer because you get tired of seeing the same tattoos on these cups, so you can make your own, okay? The difference in the water slide that's clear is, of course, the background. I'm trying to see if I have any that came out clear. The background is going to be clear. So you can put it on a white cup. You can put it on a black cup. You can put it on anything you'd like because the background border, and this is a tattoo, but I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. This is a tattoo I did. So all this blank space, when you put it on your cup, is going to be clear. That's the clear water slide. If you buy the white water slide, it's really good for dark cups, only because some of the the water slides won't show on a dark cup unless they're done in white. Lucas, here, do you want to go play? Go play, okay? Go play. No screaming, okay? All right, so the clear is going to be clear all the way around when you get it on the cup. And I can't take this apart, but it would be clear just like this with the black image. If it's white water slide paper, it's going to have a white background so that it shows up on a darker cup. That's what I tell people. If you're going to do a black cup and you want a really cool image, I would either do it in printable vinyl, where this would be really difficult to cut out right against the grain if you do printable vinyl. If you do white water slide, it's going to be the same thing. You can give yourself a little bit of a lip and go around, maybe a 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch, and go around and put it on. But you're going to see the white, and it will show up on a dark cup. So that's the difference, okay? All right. Tattoo paper is done similar to a water slide, but so totally different. So if you're doing a tattoo, basically you're going to wet your cup, just like you would your arm if you're going to put one on. Wet your cup really good. You would peel, and we'll do one of these one day, I promise. Peel the clear off. Okay, and when you lay this down, you can't move it. Water slides, you can move around your cup. Okay, so if I wanted to water slide on here and I put the water slide here, I can move it up the cup or put it in a different place if I don't like it. Like with sunflower cups, and you want to place them in certain areas, you can do that with water slides. With tattoos, once I lay that down on the wet cup, don't move it. Just lay it down, and I always push from the middle and I go out so it doesn't create big bubbles, because you cannot move tattoo paper. Okay, it's stationary. All right. So that kind of goes over a few things with the water slides. Now, there's 2 ways to apply a water slide. Somebody's going to fight me on this one too. I'm just going to be honest with you because they're going to say the paper's not meant to use it that way, blah, blah, blah. It works for clear water slides, okay? This is a lot of information, guys. I'm sorry. And I'm probably talking too fast, but, all right. Can you print on clear water slide paper in reverse and paint it white? And you have, I've never done that, Laura. I've never done that, but it's possible. It's possible it would work. I don't see why it wouldn't. On clear water slide paper in reverse, I don't see why you couldn't. I think it would work better if you paint the cup and then apply the water slide in that area. But hey, give it a shot and please send me a PM and let me know if it works. Okay? Somebody says they use clear and mirror my image. So we're going to talk about that, Ariel. So there's 2 ways to apply a water slide. And again, I'm going to use the tattoo paper so I can kind of show you something. I'm trying to think if I want to do it. I'm going to do you one. How about that? We're going to do a few things. I've got a cup in here that I was actually going to make, but these things will come off, so I'm going to do this. Okay? We're going to do this together because talking about it doesn't help. Sometimes you have to see it. So let's do this. I'm going to pull this over here, and I'm probably going to try and print an image in a minute so I can show you a water slide better than I have to paint it. Now keep in mind, if you're lucky enough, hold on just a second, tell my husband something. If you're lucky enough to have a LaserJet printer, you do not have to seal your water slides. Okay, if anybody has not told you that. Let's say you got a beautiful water slide, you get it going, you have it on your cup, and instantly it disappears. The ink does. It's because you didn't seal it. What I mean by seal is once you print it, let's pretend this is a water slide and I just made it. Okay, these are some tattoos I bought a long time ago and I've just got a junk pile over here. If this was a water slide and I made it on an inkjet printer, you got to take it outside and spray it with 3 or 4 coats of clear spray paint and seal it and let it dry and set it to the side. Then you can use it. There's 2 ways you can use this, okay? And I want to make sure you understand. I can use, if this was a water slide, this is actually a tattoo. If this was a water slide, I can actually lay the image face up and slide it off the paper after you have it wet and apply it. Or you can mirror your image when you're in Cricut Design Space. As long, let me make sure I'm telling you this. If you have words, you have to make sure if you're doing it this way that you mirror the image, okay? Words can be tricky. Put it face down if you've mirrored your image. That way it'll look just like that. If you don't mirror it, these little things are going to be on this side. If that's not a big deal, don't worry about it. But you put it face down, kind of rub it a little bit to break the seal, and then slide the paper off, and your water slide image stays up here. But keep in mind, if you do water slide, you can apply it both ways. It's whatever's easiest for you. But if you're going to put it face down, mirror your image in Cricut Design Space when you're getting ready to print. Okay? All right, another thing that helps with tattoos is make sure you turn the bleed off and change your preferences or bring up a preference box. You'll click yes. It's like a little slide button. And then when your printer box comes up, just print high quality. If you're having fun or having a hard time, if you're having a hard time with lines in your water slides or your printer doesn't act like it's working right, do not change the paper. Change the paper to plain paper just like it is, 8.5 by 11. Don't change it to photograph paper, anything like that, even though you're using different paper, and it'll print right for you, okay? I hope this is helping you guys. This is just a lot of information, but I want to make sure I share everything with you. So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to do it right here, and you'll be able to see it. This is still spinning, but I'd have to reach, my turners never turn off. So I'd have to reach back there and find the switch buried under all the glitter I got out here on my craft table for these cups I've been doing, okay? So this is a tattoo, and I'm going to show you how to apply a temporary tattoo. Now somebody's going to say, why are you doing it on that cup? I just want to show you, and then I'll go back and take it off and I'll sand it down and repaint it, and then I'll work on this cup later, okay? But it's important to me that y'all understand, because I don't want y'all to not understand something or wonder. So all tattoos, even if you make your own, are going to come with a clear sheet. Well, if you make your own, you're going to have this off to print it. But you're going to peel that off, okay? This is kind of sticky when you feel it after you take that off, okay? Then what you do is you take you some water, preferably a little warm. Mine is not warm because it's been sitting in here this whole time I've been talking. I'm going to apply it to my cup, okay? You want a decent amount but not drowned. And works better on epoxy than it does just a regular painted cup. I'm going to put this face down. When I get it face down and pretty much where I want it, I'm going to push to the middle. Okay. Hopefully get it seated. Then I'm going to roll out with both fingers, pressing down at the same time. Once I feel like it's down there pretty good, I'm going to wet the back of the paper really, really good. Okay. It kind of holds it in place when you do this. These things are so easy to use. If y'all ever went to tattoos or water slides, you're never going to want to print another image or use printable vinyl again. Just saying. It takes a minute to get used to doing them, but you're not going to want to do it ever again, okay? So while I'm talking to you, I'm just going to keep rubbing this and reading comments. Somebody asked a really good question. Let's see. How do you remove water slides that have already dried? Do you have to sand them or acetone? Don't use acetone because it'll mess up your epoxy. If I typically use water, real warm water, and get it on there and start rolling it with my finger. If it doesn't work, sometimes you can sand it just a little bit like you would your glitter under epoxy, because I told somebody I was going to go back and answer those questions about the bumps, and I'm going to when we do this glitter here in a minute, okay? So look, guys, it's on here. I already know it's working. So then you're just going to slide. You can slide it either, oh, I'm not even showing y'all. You can slide it either way, okay? You can slide it to the side. You can slide it up and down, however you want, but just slide that paper off. Once you get it off the image, just pull it off. So that is a temporary tattoo, okay? Real simple, real simple. Don't even know if it's perfectly where I would want it because I just threw it on there. I wanted y'all to see how easy tattoos are, okay? Then don't touch it. If you're like me, you want to touch it and pat it dry, don't touch it. It'll take the color off. Just let it dry on its own, okay? All right. I already talked about cleaning the rim. That went to somebody who asked. It's at the beginning, but you can go back and watch the replay of this. It'll be posted to the page, and it'll also be in Bridget Hicks Reese tutorials in the little tabs. Or you can search it. Either way, okay? I'm going to set this out of the way of the baby real quick. But that's a temporary tattoo. Water slides are done very similar to that, but you can move the water slides as long as your cup is wet. Okay? Now, we're going to start. I'm trying to think if I've done everything. Have I told you everything about the water slides? Yes. And if you have problems, send me a message, okay? And I can always try and talk you through it. I've done that with a couple people. I don't have a silhouette. I've never had a silhouette. Doesn't mean it's not a good product. It's just when I started, I told my husband, I said, I don't want to buy 42 machines. I want to get the good one so I can stick with it and love it and learn it. And that's what I've had. I've had ever since I started, okay? So this is the cup that I'm working on today, okay? I am going to, I was going to talk about prepping the cups. So I'm going to tell you 2 ways you can prep your cups as we're getting ready for this cup, okay? Let me see what he's into back here. What you got? Thank you. I have 500. Shake you. All right. Prepping the cup. No, sir. You cannot have that. Go play. Go play. Play back there. Okay? Okay. Prepping the cup, guys. Do you have a clean, I'm looking for a stainless steel cup in here. I got them all under the table. Hold on. I'm going to reach down here and grab one. So I've got a 30 ounce, 22 ounce fatty. Okay? I have to think about it. You know they came out with a 30 ounce fatty with Stainless Steel Depot at Hog if you want cups. You okay? Okay. So this is just a cup that's ready to be used. Okay? Somebody's going to say, well, what do you do about this? If they're on there straight and they look even and it's not lifted on one side, you can leave it. If it's not, I take a little screwdriver. It's right here, part of my craft room. And I'll just pry that up and lift it off. It's no big deal. It can stay on or off. The only thing that you do not want to leave on, you can have some cookie, yes. Only thing you do not want to leave on a cup are the Walmart Ozark cups, the 24 ounce. And guess what, guys? I just saw that the 30 ounce cups came out with it too. So on the bottom of the 24 ounce and now the 30 ounce, they have got a rubber piece glued to a hard piece that's on the bottom of the cup. And if you heat that with your heat gun and have something that you can pry it up with, and it covers the whole bottom. It's a non-skid, whatever. And it's great for people that want a silver cup, but it's not great for us in the crafting. Don't try and glitter over it and epoxy over it. I did one because I wanted to see, and you can see the black. You cannot get enough coverage. And that was with 3 coats of glitter, and I never use 3 coats of glitter. But I did it because I wanted to see if you could leave it on. Don't do it. Save yourself the time, money, and hassle, okay? Now, for prepping a cup while this is spinning, because we're going to be, honestly, probably 15 more minutes, and I'm still trying to look at this. How do you remove? We talked about that. I came in late. We talked about cleaning the rim. You can remove them. Yes, ma'am, you can remove them. If you put epoxy on them, you're not going to have it. It's not going to be as easy. You're going to have to sand back down through all that epoxy to get it off, okay? We did talk about cleaning the rim. I've missed a lot. I need this today, starting a new business. I am so glad. I just want to help you guys, okay? Anything I can do to help y'all. I'm not in competition with any of y'all, okay? Let's see. Transfer vinyl will pull up a water slide. You have to let it dry. Absolutely. I'm going to agree with Laura. How do you add it to epoxy? Talking about after a layer is cured, I assume, right? Show paper for temporary tattoos. That's from my girlfriend. That's from my sister from another mother, Miss Anita. This is the tattoo paper. Let's see if I can show you the whole thing. I'm getting a glare from the window. This is the bottom of it. I think it says Sunny Scopa. S-C-O-P-A. This is clear. It is for inkjet. They do make it for laser. They do make it in white. Okay. I got it on Amazon. I think it's very equivalent to what the water slide paper was. Okay? Works amazing. You can print your own images now, and you don't have to go and get the same ones that everybody's using. Okay? All right, let's see what else I got. What's the difference between Plastidip and clear spray paint? Plastidip, from what I understand, is a little more flexible. A lot of people use it. I've used it. It's no big... I mean, there's a difference in the two. It does make it more flexible. But I typically use a spray paint. But all my paints are going to be a Rust-Oleum 2X for everything. It doesn't matter if they're flat. It doesn't matter if they're glossy, semi-glossy, matte. Because you're going to get your shine from your epoxy. Okay, it's whatever your preference is. But I usually use a 2X Rust-Oleum only because if you use the Walmart brand, it's going to take you about 4 coats to put your base coat on. Where it takes 1 coat. I have lipstick on my teeth. You sure? I do. Thank you. Look at that. Thank you. Girl, I come in here one day. Let me tell you my little story. Y'all know I always got to tell a story. Let's take a break. We're going to take just a 2-second break from cups. I come in here one day and did a tutorial. Now, I have lupus, for those of you who don't know. So, I had a real bad lupus flare not long ago, and I lost all my eyelashes on this eye. Don't ask me why I didn't lose them on this eye. I don't know. So, these are fake eyelashes. And this one's actually doing its little thing. But I was doing a tutorial one night, and this is hilarious. So, I never look at the camera when I'm doing my glitter. And I was trying to look at the camera, and I looked, and I had these glasses on because I can't see a thing without them. You see, I got a big old black... Looks like I got a big old black dot under here. But anyway, I looked up. Look, I'm going to show y'all. I'm just going to show y'all. Look, I am not vain. I looked up. And this is what... this is what I saw. And I about died. I was laughing so hard. Look, let me take these off now. I done got embarrassed and got tickled. But, my eyelashes were all over here, y'all. It was funny. I guess you had to be there because it was funny to me. But anyway, yeah, I lost all my eyelashes up there. All right, let's see what you have. I have a Cricut Maker that goes out to Amy. I'm sorry, I got myself tickled now. All right, I'm trying to get to the bottom. Y'all left me a lot of messages I didn't get to see. With the bottom, somebody's saying they have a lot of cups with the rubber bottoms on them. Yes, ma'am. You can go and you can take those off. If you heat them up, they work a lot better, okay? All right. I bought tattoo paper, and I have no idea how to use it. Please show me that from printing on. All right, Sherry, I will send you a message, or we'll get on and talk through PM, or we'll have a video chat, okay? And I'll help you get through it. Billy, I want to thank you for the lipstick on my teeth. I really do appreciate that. It does not bother me at all for somebody to say, you are... you might want to check yourself. So it doesn't bother me at all, okay? Do your tattoos ever split? I've never had a tattoo split, but my water slides have split in half. If you're not careful and don't have enough water, it is going to pull apart, okay? And if you need a white water slide and you only have clear. Somebody was just saying you could clear and use it on white vinyl. Somebody said you could also paint them, okay? So there were several ideas I saw through here, Chris, okay? All right, let's see what else. I'm going to get to the bottom here. All right, so we're going to start doing this. We're going to finish the prepping. 2 ways to prep. It depends on you. If you buy a cup like this, or God forbid you buy one of those cups that's pre-painted with the 1-inch lip at the top, you know what I'm talking about, where all this is silver. Now I can't remember what they called it right this second. But anyway, you bought that cup. If you do not sand that cup, all your hard work is going to peel off in the floor when you come back, or you come back to pull it off and you're getting ready to box it and you touch it. It's all going to peel off. Okay? I've had it happen. I had it happen. It was a beautiful cup. I was impressed with myself. Gave it to the customer. She was looking at it. You know how customers always do this and rub it. And she rubbed it, the whole thing peeled off in front of me. I was so embarrassed. So, that was in the beginning, before I learned you had to prep your cups. So, I told you I had nobody to talk to. That's what I'm here for y'all for, okay? All right. So, powder coated. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Miss Tanisha. Powder coated. Powder coated cups, you still have to sand. They're beautiful. They're white. Your paint looks great, but you have to sand them, unfortunately. Excuse me. We're almost done, Bubby, okay? Okay, I've been on here a while. 2 ways to prep, okay, guys? You can use any type of sandpaper you want. Typically, I use these blocks, okay? On one side, it's one type of sandpaper, and on the other is the other side. If y'all could see this craft room floor right now behind me, y'all would be so shocked, because this child has had him a ball. So, there's a 320 on this side and a 220 on the other. Keep in mind that like a 220 is actually really good to do the glitter once it pops through. You've done your coat of epoxy and you want to sand it back down. 320 is a little finer. These are 120 and 180. Okay, it's about time to get new blocks. 180 is almost super fine. It's great to do the bottom of your cups before you do your final coat of epoxy, especially when you do chunky glitter. But you want the stuffiest sandpaper you've got. So I'm going to use like a 120, okay? It's much rougher than a nail file. So you can either sit here. I'm going to back up. I don't run over the kid. And you're going to stuff the dickens out of this cup. And I'm going to show you the difference and what I mean by stuffing versus... Okay. So, this is non-scuffed. And this is scuffed. Okay? And then back to non-scuffed. So you have to do this whole cup. You have to do the bottom. You have to do the edges. You need to scuff it up. The reason you scuff it up is so that the base paint has something to adhere to. And if that has something to adhere to, your glitter has something to adhere to. Your epoxy has something to adhere to. Okay? If you don't scuff it up, you're going to have a disaster. I promise you, I've had it. Please don't do it. Just protect yourself, because we put a lot of work into these cups, don't we, guys? And you want to save your work. If you don't want to scuff up all your cups, let's say you're doing 20 a day, okay? Been there, done that. If you have a lot of cups to do, I'm going to show you this other thing they've got. You can put it on a turner. You can put it on a stick. You can do it wherever you want. I don't promote certain people's products, and I do promote certain people's products. It depends if I've used it and I like it. I'll tell you that it worked for me, but you make your own judgment, okay? Some things get pricey, especially if you're just starting out. But if you don't want to sit there and sand 20 cups or have your kids in the corner sanding cups, because I've used that as a punishment before, I'm so bad. This company called Dixie Belle is truly a paint company, okay? They have all kinds of paints, meaning like for your walls or dressers, if you do big projects like that. But this stuff is called Slick Stick. This is a 32-ounce jar. Okay, I'm going to open it up and hope I don't spill it. So you can see what it is. It's basically kind of like a white paint. I am down to just at the rim. Hope you can see that. Okay? I got the dog raising hell. Somebody's outside, but we're going to let him just knock. I've probably done 30 cups of this, and that's how much I used. Okay? Dixie Belle Slick Stick. What are you doing? and you paint it on. It dries in about 10 minutes. Then you paint a second coat, let that dry, you're ready to go. No sanding, no prepping, no washing, nothing. Okay? Y'all know I got 3 dogs. They're going crazy. I guarantee it's Prime, man. Amazon Prime. Because it's dying off. I'm going to get me a camera. I got a camera out there, but I'm going to get it where I can watch it so I can see who it is. So sanding works great. Slick stick works better. It's so much faster. I could paint 20 cups today with that. Have them all over here in the corner on my drying rack. And then when I get ready, I just pull them off and start making them. Okay? It's whatever you want to do, but it does work great. You don't need to wash it off or anything. No, the only thing you would wash off is the final sand that they have out now for matte cups. Okay? It's called Slick Stick by Dixie Belle Company. I think it's dixiebelle.com. Okay? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. They make smaller jars. If you're not making a lot of cups, don't buy this. I've done about 20 cups, and I've got it down here. This is going to last me forever. Okay? Forever. This was like 30 bucks. So that's kind of pricey. But you can get a smaller one, you know what I'm saying, and put it in a little Dixie cup or something and paint your cups with it. You probably still are not going to use that much. But you can probably, I don't know how much the smallest one was. When I heard about it, I don't know if you're familiar, we kind of team up with Childs and Childs sometimes. And they actually told me about it because I was prepping so many cups. Okay, so I will include pictures of all of this after the tutorial. I'm going to get better about that so y'all know where to get these products. Okay. How long do you left to let it dry before you can move on? It takes about 15 minutes for it to dry. It's kind of like you're painting with an acrylic paint. It's very similar to that, but this is kind of special formulated to stick to your cup and adhere to your cup so you can work on these projects. After that, I always do a second coat. The biggest thing I've found, just being honest, is make sure your brush strokes aren't too thick. If you have brush strokes in it, you can see that. So it's not good to use for a solid color cup. If you're doing glitter cups, this is the bomb. But if you're doing like a straight black cup with no glitter for a man, I'd go ahead and sand and prep your cup and do your base paint black. Because this is going to leave little brush marks. You can't see it under glitter though, okay? Alright. So now we're going to get on to this. And this is the last thing and then we're out of here, guys, okay? It doesn't have a smell. No, honestly, you know, I've never smelt it. I smell all my products. If you've watched me before, I smell everything. I don't care what it is. I like to know. It smells like paint. It smells like regular paint, like you paint on your walls in your bedroom. It has that kind of smell. It's not too harsh, but it doesn't smell like acrylic paint. It smells like a room paint. Okay? All right, guys. We're going to go on. We're going to do this cup. I'm going to show you a quick way to do something. I need to grab one thing. I hate to get up in front of people. Let me think of where it is. I may not have to get up. Hold on 2 seconds. I got to grab something. Lucas! Lucas! What you doing, Bobby? Oh my goodness. Alright, so I don't have those. Can y'all give me 2 seconds? Let me run and get something. You're going to get to see me trip over all these toys. But I got to get something because it's really important. I had everything else handy. I know. Look out, Bubba. Sorry. Alright, move. 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 Hurry. We got to go get something. The people's waiting. Oh my goodness. Have you had fun? Oh my goodness. Please move. Thank you. Yeah, please move. You playing? I'm hung. Alright, move. Move. Okay. I'm back. Sorry, guys. That was rude. But this is the one thing I forgot. And I apologize. I placed an order with a particular glitter company that said they were taking a little longer to deliver glitter because of the COVID crisis. I apologize now, I'm out of breath. There was that one lung thing going on. I hope I didn't lose too many people. Thank you, thank you, thank you for not leaving me, okay? All right. Hey, LaDonna. Girl, I've been doing this tutorial and had everything here but this one thing. So, this company has been, it's been about 4 weeks now. I still haven't got my glitter. So I just want you to know, long story short, I'm not bashing the company. It is what it is. Sometimes when you order, that happens. But I went to I went to Hobby Lobby the other day to get something. And they actually finally have added new glitters. And I found some really pretty glitter. Y'all look at this glitter. Let me show you. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I'm trying to get it. Let me just put it on some paper. That's crazy. Make it a little easier so you can see it. Anyway, a little more. Ooh, wait a minute. That might be why I got it so cheap. Now I know how they make glitter, guys. That came out in a big old chunk. But anyway, can y'all see that? Let me see if I can turn it this way. It's snowflakes and stars and blue dots, and I thought it was really, really, really pretty, especially because before you know it, your Christmas cup orders are going to be coming in so fast you're not going to know what to do. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of start a opal glitter cup with a little bit of the blue in it. Now, I'm not using anybody in particulars. My next tutorial, I'm going to be using Glitzology glitter by Miss Joy Sims. She is a preferred vendor in our group, but I'm going to be using a different company's glitter just because I have so many of their opals, okay? I don't know if they're a preferred vendor, so I'm not going to mention their name. I will talk with LaDonna. She's on here. I just saw her. She's the creator of the group. If y'all did not know that, tell her hey. All right. So, where did you get that again? I got this at Hobby Lobby. So, it comes with the blue snowflakes, the crystal snowflakes, like a light blue. Comes with some really pretty dots, and then some blue opal dots. Okay? I think it was like $6.99. I used my 40% off coupon. I got it for like $3. Okay? But I'm going to be using some glitters, and if I get permission, I will let y'all know if I can share the name of this company. I don't think they're a preferred vendor, but I will talk to LaDonna, and if they are, I will show you what I've got. Okay? This one's actually called Narnia. It's one of the opals that they have. This is a Blizzard opal. It's got some blue and pink hues to it. This is just straight opal. Okay? And then this is called Baby Face. So it's got some blue to it. Okay? Now I'm going to be using probably all 4 of these. I'm actually thinking about taking one out. Let's see. I think I'm going to take out the Enchanted. I'm going to take out I'm going to use those 3 because I'm going to be using the snowflakes. Okay? In there. And then I'm going to be using this, and this came from Michael's. This is called Caribbean, but I like the color blue because I'm going to be using these snowflakes. And it's going to give me an offset of color. You don't want it to be too pale. I could use that, but then it doesn't go with that. So I'm going to use the lighter snowflakes. Okay? Let me get that cleaned off so we don't have any dark chunky flip out on me. So, for epoxy, what I'm going to use today is the Fast Set UV Protectant that Counterculture came out with. Only reason I'm going to use this, and I want to explain something. I use everybody's products. I'm actually going to use ALE or a little extra. I just ordered some of their product finally. It took me forever. I had some samples here, and I used those. And y'all, their shine is unreal, like their final coat. I've used DIY epoxy. The Artisan, they have a really good shine. Those are the ones that take longer. So my final coat, I always let one of my longer drying epoxies for my final coat. Because the Fast Set seems to, it's very fast. You can turn a cup in a day. But I like for my epoxy that really has to sit and spin, gives you a better shine, less discoloration, less bubbles, that kind of thing. Okay, but I'm going to be using a Fast Set UV Protectant. They have 2 different types of epoxy right now. Well, they have several. Counterculture does. I'm going to show you what they look like so you'll know. This is a Fast Set, and it comes in a part A and B. It's a purple label. And then they have the Fast Set blue label, which if you look at it says Ultra Clear, and it has their UV protectant. So they have 2 different products, 2 different labels, both Fast Set, both dry within an hour. Not cure, but dry. But the blue is what I'm using today. Okay? Just wanted to show you that so you know what we were using. It is a 50-50. Okay? You have to use 50 of this, 50 of part A and 50 of part B. I am mixing way more than I need to. Please don't go, oh my gosh, look how much epoxy she's using. I do this for all my tutorials. The reason I do is I want y'all to see how quickly it cures. And of course, this is going to be your part A, because you can't hardly squeeze it out of these FIFO bottles. But let me get this in here. And then we'll talk about stirring your epoxies, different things that you can look out for. Because remember, I'm kind of gearing this towards my newbies. If you've been doing cups a while, you still may learn something, or you may just say, I don't do it that way, and I'm not going to do it that way, and that is perfectly fine, because trust me, my way is not the only way or the right way, okay? It just means it works for me. So I've got equal amounts of epoxy. I usually put them into something a little bigger so I can stir it better. So now I'm just going to transfer it. If you are eyeballing your epoxy and saying that looks like it's about even, or you're pouring it into a regular Dixie cup and like going, well, that looked like 50-50, and your cups are sticky in like 8 hours, you did not have equal measurements of part A and part B, okay? It's either going to be in your measurements if your cup is sticky after 5 or 6 hours. Well, I should say that. On fast set, it should be dry within an hour to an hour and a half. If you're using a regular epoxy and it's still sticky after like 8 or 10 hours, either your measurements were off or the humidity is off. But typically it's in the measurements, just being honest. Can you fix it when it's like that? If it's not too sticky, you can. If it's not too sticky. If it's too sticky, you're going to have to strip it. Just keeping it real with you. You can try and put another layer of epoxy on it and hope it dries, but just remember you're still going to have that sticky epoxy under it. Okay? If it's not too bad, sometimes you can get away with going ahead and putting another coat on it and hoping that it works. But I like to tell people, just remember your name stands behind your work. So if it fails, you want it to fail on you and not on your customer. Can you use ALEM molds? ALEM molds is beautiful. Super clear, minimal bubbles, okay? People are saying that sometimes they get it and it's too... Yes, this is very thick. That's what I was going to show you. I usually mix it just a second. I hit it with my heat gun. Remember, it is a fast set epoxy. This is going to set up in about 15 minutes. I'm not going to be able to do anything to it. It'll still be a little sticky, but it's not going to move at all. So if I'm going to do any work to it, I need to do it within about 15 minutes. If you're a little slow still in your glittering process, so this is after adding a little heat, okay? Makes it a whole lot better. Just a little heat. Not for too long, because you have very minimal working time. Okay, I stir fast. A lot of people don't stir their epoxy this fast. It's going to create bubbles, but think about this. We're creating bubbles, but we're doing a glitter cup. So are the bubbles really going to matter? No. They will matter if they're large, because it can lift your glitter. But if they're really tiny, small air bubble, I mean like tiny micro bubbles, y'all, you don't have to worry about it, because you're using glitter and it's going to cover it. Okay, just keep that in mind. I'm getting a glove. I usually work with one glove. Be careful, Lucas. Okay, of course I ripped it. But this is ready to go. Oh, wheeze. Okay. Alright, guys. I always wipe that stuff off. If you use a baby wipe and you wipe these medicine cups out or your stir sticks, and somebody's going to say, what about wooden sticks versus metal sticks? What about silicone sticks? I have all of those. Okay. Just depends on what you're making. I use these for molds because you got to mix so much. These work great too. What happens for me is a lot of times I'll use these metal sticks. I forget to clean them right away and I come back and they're stuck to my silicone mats, and then I have to clean them when I'm getting ready to work. So I just grab another wood stick, okay? So all I'm going to do is put minimal epoxy. This looks like a lot, but I promise you it's not. Minimal epoxy, a lot of glitter. Minimal epoxy, a lot of glitter. Reason being, if you ever had a cup that looks shiny after you applied your glitter and you just can't get it to be, you want it to look dry. If you're doing a glitter cup and after you do your glitter application, your cup does not look dry, and I'm going to show you a great example. I was letting Bella help me with a cup. Now, Bella absolutely loves doing crafts, okay? I don't let her help me all the time, but that night I was feeling froggy, and I was doing a sample cup, something I wanted to see about doing, and I'll have to tell you about that later. But anyway, that's all I'm going to be putting on here. But I just got to rub it in real good. If you need to, you can add a little heat to this as it's on the cup, just to make sure you've got good coverage everywhere. But minimal epoxy. If you're putting a ton of epoxy on this cup, y'all, I've still got a ton of epoxy in here. Okay, but there's a reason for it. If you've got a ton of epoxy on your cup, you're going to have to use a ton of glitter to get it dry. Because if you've noticed, it sucks up the glitter. Okay? Lucas, honey, you can't play with everything. Let me see. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. You've already ruined that one. You got it wet. Thank you. So I'm going to put my stick back in my epoxy because I'm going to show you something here in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to set it to the side. Yeah, thank you. Y'all, I'm going to get this glittered pretty quick because... Sorry. Woo, girlfriend. Girlfriend. All right. Woo, he said woo too. Yeah, we're going to get this done fairly quickly. Now, this is looking pretty good. I do have a few little bubbles, nothing too major. I am going to get it with a little bit of heat, maybe just one turn around, one rotation, and I'll tell you why. Sometimes you'll get a dry spot. Has anybody ever watched their epoxy for a minute because you're using so little? You get a dry spot. If you have a dry spot, and I have one, I see it, and a little bit up here. I'm going to show you. I'm going to point them out to you. Dry spot right there. And dry spots right here. If you have a dry spot, no glitter is going to stick to it. Okay? If you have something that looks like a fisheye, and this counts towards your bigger cups too. Fisheyes are usually typically because there's not enough epoxy, or you got it too hot. Okay? When you were using the heat gun. So keep that in mind about your fisheyes. I can never keep the turner going while I'm adding my epoxy. I do an area and then turn it next to stop my epoxy. I feel you on that one, okay? My foam, I use these big Star foam noodles, pool noodles, and they just work really, really great. And then I have these things for some of my turners, but they only fit a 1/4-inch PVC pipe. They won't do the 3/8, okay? So that, I really have never had a problem with them. All right, guys, remember, we're using 5 glitters. 4 glitters in a shape. That's what we're using, okay? So I'm going to put that there, and that there. So this first one is baby face, and I have to work kind of fast. And if I get approval to share the vendor with you, I will do that. You talked about no more dimples and fish eyes. I bought some, and I have no idea how to use it. We'll talk about that one day, because I've got the, that's quick coat. Hold on a minute. I got no more dimples here, and I got stick tight. And we'll talk about those products. They're great products, okay? We'll talk about those one day when we're doing a tutorial. So, y'all, listen, I'm doing mine just a little bit different. I was going to do an ombre, and I thought, with this many colors, I'm just going to do it a little different. I'm going to do like a diagonal swirl, okay? Real simple to do. Just pick you a spot you want to start, and we're going to go diagonally towards me, and there's a reason for doing it. You want your turner turning away from you. And then you also want to make sure, which I almost forgot, to put some paper down to collect your glitter so you don't waste. Okay? So I'm going to start here. I'm going up the cup in a diagonal fashion. And then I'm going to do another line. And I won't get it all on there. I'm sorry for the child in the background. He's being wild today. I'm going to get this one on here. It's a little bit close, but we're going to make it work. He's talking on a play telephone. That's what he's doing. Alright, so we got these little lines done pretty well. As much as I want to put on for now. We may have to go back. And when I get the glitter on, I'm going to show you the mistake I made before. I'm going to go to the next line towards the back side of that. So when it's rotating away from me, it's going to fall over this piece of glitter. And you can see the different color that it makes. And it's, see how it rolls off the existing color that's there and falls off onto the paper. Now, I didn't change my paper on that one, but I'm going to keep this for a reason, okay? I should have told you that. We're going to keep this because we're going to put it on the bottom of our cup. That's our 2 colors together. I got to put it somewhere away from the baby. All right, so now we're going to do, which one did I do? This one is going to be Narnia. Narnia has a little bit of a pink shimmer to it, okay? We'll put that one right here. You're just kind of drawing lines, basically. I'm going to wait for that to come back around. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's kind of like doing an ombre sideways. This actually has a lot of silver to it. This is really pretty. I like that. And get a little bit more here. Now you may have to go back over these lines. So remember what you use first, especially if you're using colors that are very similar in shades, okay? I'm just going to watch this one more time and see if I want to add any more anywhere. And then I'll show you what we're going to do. That looks pretty decent. All right. Now we're going to use the snowflakes after I pick this up, okay? Save all the glitter you possibly can. You actually could have added that to the glitter I had mixed. I can actually go back and do that. And I think I'm going to sprinkle some of that back on here. Because we're going to use it, okay? Might not use it all, but I don't get rid of any glitters. Now we're going to do the little blue and crystal snowflakes. See if they come out fast enough in this, and they're not going to for my liking. Because remember, I'm on a time constraint. So I'm going to pour them into a cup, and then I can put them back in the container when I'm done. So, alright, we're going to wait for that to come around. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is the difference in a good quality glitter. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about because I just saw what it did. But it's going to be alright. We can work around it. When these glitters are cut, I'm going to see if I can find one in here so I can show you what I'm talking about. They're cut and they stack. See if you can see them here. There's like 5 pieces of glitter stacked on top of each other right there. So even though you can see the snowflakes, they're kind of stacked. And normally when you buy a quality glitter, you don't have that issue. Now that doesn't show up as much as I wanted it to. I thought that those blue and white snowflakes, y'all have got a lot of glare. But I've got my curtain open. Let's see if I can give you some different light and show you. See if it'll... No, that's not going to help at all. I'm going to have to take a picture of it when we're done, okay, guys? And let y'all see what it looks like up close, because you may not be able to see that. I'm not happy with all of that, so I'm going to do something a little different. Normally, I was not going to do this, but I'm going to. We'll just see what happens. That's all we can do. This is a little darker than what I wanted to put on here. Remember, because this is covered, where I'm sprinkling it, it kind of falls off the cup if it can't hold it because there's glitter already covered in that epoxy. So it looks like I have no rhyme or reason to this cup, but if you look, it's not going to stick anywhere that there's already glitter. I hope I said that right without stuttering too bad. Like I had not really a big gap right there, so it didn't cover real well. So let's see if I can get y'all with no glare. I'm going to be turning the phone a little bit so I can show you maybe with a little less glare. And is that a little better for everybody? Let me see. Sounds adorable. That's my kid's too bright. All right. Only other thing I can do real quick. Y'all bear with me a second. I'm working through a bedroom window. So I'm going to close these blinds and see if that gives you a little better light. And that might be too bright too, so I'm going to cut this one off. Is that a little better, guys? Good, yes. All right. So I kind of closed down some of the light a little bit, and hopefully you can see that better. All right, good. Everybody's saying better. So this is what I just used. I'm going to pull it up. Now, y'all know that I use I don't ever tape my cups up anymore. I go from the top to the bottom and decorate. So that's exactly what I'm going to do today. We'll put a little bit of this blue. I apologize, y'all are looking at my chest here. So I'm going to put some of this blue on that paper that we had earlier that I mixed all the colors up with. Okay. I'm going to pull it together and I'm going to do the bottom. And this is the way I do it. You don't have to do it my way, okay? If you found a better way, then do that. But I usually put it right at the top so that I get those edges of the cup that usually have no glitter on them. And I shake it on the edge. And once I know that I'm all the way covered around the cup on the edge, like I have a big spot right there that had nothing, I'll put it to the base of the cup, just a little below the lip, and I shake it kind of hard, and I tap the paper from the back side. If you hear that, that's me doing this. Wait a minute, where are you at? I'm just popping it like that, okay? And that gives me glitter on the bottom. Now, a lot of people drink out of straws. They never turn their cup up. They could care less what it looks like. But when I started decorating the bottoms of my cups, I had more people comment on the fact that the bottom of their cup was decorated than they did about the cup itself. So I asked them why, and they said because nobody decorates the bottoms of their cups anymore. And that's not true, because I see many, many, many people on this site who decorate the bottom of their cups, okay? So I knew I was not the only one. But it's just amazing that people do appreciate that little bit of extra work, okay? All right, so I wound up with some extra glitter. We can do anything you want with that glitter. I'm going to save this blue. This actually turned out better than I thought, because I used that light blue, if you remember. But the light blue really didn't show up very well. So that worked out really well. I'm going to save this here. Lucas, honey, you are just having you a ball, ain't you, baby? All right, so I'm going to move this to the side, and then I'm going to kind of show you a trick with the chunky, and we're going to be done for today, guys, okay? All right, you can do this either way. Can everybody see that pretty good? Somebody's saying it's blurry. Something is goofy and blurry. All right, hold on a second. Let me see. What can I use? Hold on. You're going to see the camera go away for a minute. All right. Is that still blurry for some people? All good now. It's better now. I may have touched the screen when I was tilting you down, and I apologize, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to start patting the chunky down, and then as I feel, if there's any sticky spots mean, this is what I wanted to show you guys. All right. So, this is a cup I glittered with Bella the other day, okay? Can you see this big, huge, shiny spot? And these shiny spots? Not enough glitter, guys. This has not a top coat of epoxy. Right here, it looks super dry. That means it's great. This right here was not enough glitter, okay? You see a lot of not enough glitter on this cup. It's really good there. I got a decent spot here and here, but see all this shiny? There should be no shiny. I was trying to make sure it wasn't soda that he spilled a while ago. This is a perfect example of a cup that needs a second coat of glitter, because when you do this glitter, you want to make sure that it is not shiny. If it is, you need more glitter, okay? Because it's going to stay that way. Also, somebody had asked about spikes in the glitter once you put on the epoxy, and I'll talk to you about that in just a second. But listen, just take your finger. You can use a gloved hand, or you don't have to, and just pat this chunky down a little bit. This is going to save you so much work on your next step. You would be amazed. You're not going to get it all down, but you're just trying to get some of it down so that you don't have so much sanding to do after you do your epoxy. Okay. I'm just patting especially these snowflakes. Just make sure they're down. And this is all the transfer I'm getting. Okay. Not a whole lot, because you're not patting it hard. If it feels sticky, you need to sprinkle. See, I've got a sticky spot in this area, and it's right in that row, which was this glitter. So I'm going to hit it in that line, because I can kind of see it. I can see it from here where you may not be able to. And then I'm just going to do a little bit. This is that one that had just a little bit of a pink hue to it. Oh my goodness. I just spilled some glitter. I do not pretend to sing, but yeah, I just spilled a whole lot of glitter. But I've got one of these amazing machines. If you don't have one of these amazing machines, it vacuums up your glitter and you can put it right back in your bottle. Oh, it's a wonderful, wonderful little creature. It's a little vacuum. Somebody says, are you adding a decal to the cup you're making? I might put a name on it. I could actually put a decal on it. I could put, maybe it's cold outside. Trying to think of something I might do to it. All snowflakes are different and special in their own way. That's a big one. I'm just trying to think of something that I might put on it. But a name would be really cute in a diagonal area going this way. And a really pretty curvy font with maybe a... I bought some stickers the other day, guys. Stickers. Yeah, I said stickers. And they're snowflakes that are actually this color that was in this teal right in this. But they have bling bling in them. And I could do that. Put the bling bling here and put the name there. That'd be pretty. Because it gives you so much shine and sparkle. So basically all I've done is gone around and kind of touched this. Sometimes I don't pick what I'm going to put on the cup unless it's a cup for a customer until I've like made it. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this with it. I'm going to do that with it. And then I'll take it to the craft fair and sell them out there. But y'all, this is not a bad looking cup. I hope you can see that. Let me get this off there. Let's see. The little desk vacuum. Let it snow. You're exactly right. I missed it because my Facebook froze. Beautiful ideas for it though. Can I buy it and send you a decal via mail? Joni, you send me a private message, okay? Let it go, Christy. That's right, from Frozen. Y'all, this is so much fun. Now, let me just tell you one more thing. When this comes to a dry spot, okay? I'm just trying to make sure my bottom looks good. Because I'm real funny about my cups. I just want to make sure. If it's not something that I like, I just feel like nobody else will like it. But I kind of like this cup. I think the opals turned out super, super pretty in it. I was going to tell you something. When this dries, I'm going to do another heavy coat of epoxy. Okay? I'm going to bring you back up a little bit. I feel like I can't see your messages. Okay? Your craft fair cups are not personalized. No, ma'am. I don't take anything to the craft fair that's personalized. If I take it, it may have a logo, a saying on it, but a lot of my cups that go to the craft fair have nothing on them except the cup, and then I'll tell them that I can personalize it for them for X dollars, and then I'll bring it back home, put a personalization on it, and do the final coat. Okay? I will do a flood coat. You may or may not have heard of that. Depends on how long you've been doing cups. But because this is chunky glitter, and because it does have shape glitter in it, I am going to do a flood coat. I will probably, me personally, you don't have to. I just have found it works much better. We'll put about 30 mLs. I'm a retired nurse. 30 mLs of epoxy, 15 of A and 15 of B, and flood this cup. Rub it in real good. Make sure I don't have any bare spots, and then I'll let it sit and dry. And then once I get done, if I feel any of these, I'm trying to figure out what he's doing over there. If I feel any of these little pricklies like you see on here, I will use a very super fine, and when I say super fine, I'm talking about, let me find the one I would use for y'all. Probably a 180. Super fine sander. Sand it down real lightly. Put my decal on after I've washed it and dried it. And then do my final, clean the rim and do my final coat of epoxy. If I feel like it needs another coat after I sand it, or it still just doesn't look quite smooth enough for me, I'll do another little thin coat of epoxy, which would, of course, would make 4. But chunky can be funny. You can get it covered in 30, and sometimes it just won't. And y'all, I'm not sending a lumpy cup out to nobody. I just can't. I wouldn't want a lumpy cup, so I'm not going to. Now, let me show you something. This is a fast set. You know how long I've been talking. This cup is hot. Counterculture fast set sometimes smokes. It doesn't mean it's going to burn down your house. But that's the stick that was in it. Let me see if I can get it out. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So that's the fast set. So really, I can't do too much more to that anyway. Let me see if I can get the whole piece out, because it's not soft enough. Sometimes I can pull the whole piece out. That's why I leave the, no, okay. So it's not coming out. I broke my stick. But the cup is very warm, just letting you know. I'm trying to get this one piece back out in case somebody didn't see it. This is a fast set epoxy. So in about an hour, I'll be ready to do my other cover. Okay? I glittered a cup epoxy method last night. Needed to add more glitter to my ombre fade. How can I do it if I don't have adhesive spray? I glittered a cup epoxy method last night. Need to add more glitter. You could always just do another coat of epoxy and do your second coat of glitter You don't have to use an adhesive spray. I have seen people use hairspray. I've seen people use adhesive spray. I've seen people Mod Podge. I call that the devil's glue. Me and Mod Podge do not get along, except when I'm doing fabric tumblers. They work great for fabric tumblers, okay? All right, so how long did I stir and mix the fast set? I did that one pretty quick. It was probably about a minute, but you're supposed to do it about 2 minutes. But like I said, we're glittering, so we're not too much worried about some of the bubbles because it does cover, okay? On your chunky cups, how many layers of epoxy do you apply? That's what I was just talking about. Usually I do a 30 ounce or 30 ml flood coat. If I have any sharp spots, I'll mildly sand it with a super fine sandpaper. If it feels smooth enough to do a decal, I'll go ahead and do a decal. If it doesn't, I'll do another 10 or 15 to that cup, and then I'll go from there, okay? Is there an adhesive spray we should stay away from? If you're doing a fabric tumbler, I would not use a spray adhesive. I will say that, because when you touch the spray adhesive that comes through the material and you touch the fabric, it transfers. So the only thing I would say is all spray adhesives are great. I've actually got basting adhesive spray here. I use that on my mats to put through my Cricut when my mats get unsticky. Trying to think of what else I got here. Lucas, get out of the bubble gum. I've got a Super 77. I've got Loctite spray. I've got several kinds of spray over here. So I do use sprays too, okay? I'm glad you like this, Miss Lena. I hope y'all have enjoyed this. This has been a super long tutorial. I wanted to cover a whole lot for y'all. I put too much glitter and glow powder in my epoxy and my image is cloudy. Will it eventually clear up? Probably not. Sometimes if it's still rolling and it's still wet, you can take a heat gun and kind of push it to the side and make that not cloudy on your, whatever your sticker is or your lettering. But it would have to still be wet, okay? So listen, guys, I'm going to get off here. I am so glad I got the baby back here eating bubble gum as fast as he can put it in his mouth. Yeah, he's got a lot of bubble gum in his mouth. So I'm going to go get this gum from him. And any questions you have, please, 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 please. How do you not break the seal on cup when noodle sticks to it? Before I take this off, I will literally take and push my noodle in. And it breaks it away. And then sometimes I've got epoxy up to here, guys. Sometimes that epoxy will hang. I'll use my X-Acto knife and I'll cut it down before I even do my next step. So I may clean the rim 3 or 4 times, okay? But I've had a great time spending time with y'all, okay? But I see people turn the cups upside down and try to do it that way, and epoxy drips everywhere. No more dimples. Can you cover that super fast? No more dimples. All right, we'll do that real quick. Let's see. Let me find my bottle. I haven't used it in such a while. If y'all are getting a lot of fish eyes, make sure you're washing your cups too, okay? Primes acrylic paints and pours over before the resin. If I remember right, and I am going to read it real quick with you, ingestion, and it might not even have any instructions on it. Free of defects, all over silicones. Oh, okay, I remember. When you get to the epoxy, like say I've epoxied this, and I have done... before I do my decal. I don't want to put like printable vinyl on here and then do this. But I've got everything's ready to go for me to put my decal on. And it's dry. Your cup has to be dry. Not like this. It has to have epoxy and it's dry and you're getting ready to do your next layer. You'll take a brush or a wet paper towel or something like that that has no lint. And you're going to rub this all over your cup. It's kind of like doing a primer. It's basically a primer. And let it dry for about 30 minutes. And it kind of fills in any of those spots, like oil and residue that gets on your hands that you've touched that dry epoxy before you're getting ready to do your decals and etc. Keep in mind, fish eyes come from, or dimples come from, either too little epoxy, you've got oil and residue, dirt, dust, something like that on your cup. The humidity could be a little off. I have just started using a heat lamp in my craft room. It's sitting back there, so it kind of shines this way over the cups. I was going to hang it above the ceiling, but I just felt like if it ever dropped, it would catch my house on fire. But my house is about 60 degrees, so my cups take just a little longer to cure sometimes because it's so cold. I did have a bout, I'm going to be honest, of bad epoxy. I won't say from who because it happens to all groups and all different vendors, but the epoxy dimpled every time and stayed sticky, no matter if my measurements were exact or not. So keep in mind, there is a such thing as bad epoxy. Typically, if you reach out and you save some of it and you reach out to the manufacturer, they'll make it good. But typically, it's one of those. But this stuff is, when you have done your second coat of epoxy, before you do your vinyl work or you do your printable vinyl or your water slides, you're going to put this on, typically with a brush. You want to put it on with a brush. Let it dry for 30 minutes and then go ahead and proceed with your next thing. It dries clear. It is a white thing, but it dries clear. Okay? I hope that helps. I love y'all. I thank you for tuning in. Listen, if you have any questions, send me a message. And I do like to tell people this, and some people don't agree, but I will do a cheetah cup. Actually, send me a message, though, so I don't forget, and I'll put it on my schedule, okay? I like to say this. We all bleed the same. We're America, and people are just great, and people watch us from all over, y'all. I got a little lady in Australia, I think, that watches me. But listen, we have to love each other. If you haven't walked up to somebody lately and say, that's a pretty dress, or you look pretty today, or I love your hair, just give somebody a compliment today and watch how it changes their life. It changes their life, people, okay? So, or if you're afraid to shake somebody's hand, walk up and give them a fist bump and say, hope you have a great day. You'd be amazed, okay? Remember, we all bleed the same, love each other. We'll see you today's Thursday, right? I will see you tomorrow. I will be posting a time late this evening, okay? We'll see y'all later. Bye.